Okay, so this is over here on the left is what it will look like when you log into our Sandbox, which is where we will do our sample scoring, sample application scoring, and practice and get familiar with the system. You'll know it's a Sandbox because it says so back here in white letters with the light gray background. Our live site where we will score real applications next spring will look identical, but it will not say Sandbox in the background. But again, this is somewhere we can go and practice. This is what it will look like when you log in. Any applications that have been assigned to you, it will say continue like this, and you could click here and continue reviewing if you had taken a break and paused in the middle of reviewing. You'll notice here it also says applicant first name hidden and last name hidden. Again, this is an anonymous review process. So if you do notice that you are reading through an application and you recognize or you know who somebody is after reading about them, we ask that you recuse yourself because we do want this to be an anonymous process. So I'm going to go ahead and click start here on a new application so you can see what it will look like. Over here to the right, I have our rubrics pulled up so that you can see what that looks like. Again, this is our Pedrozi Scholar Characteristic rubric, as well as the graphic here. Helpful scoring tip reminder, it's helpful to read the entire application before you begin scoring. The scoring method's designed to look at each applicant holistically based on Pedrozi Scholar characteristics. So we can reference this, as we are going through. Why is it not letting me scroll? There we go. That'll let me go to page 2. So anyway, I will start here on this application and you'll see what it looks like. Again, you can scroll down here, scroll through the screen. The evaluation form is over here on the left. You'll see the applicant ID number, their high school graduation year, their upcoming college class status, and then this again is just a reminder of our Pedrozi Scholar characteristics over here. Note that the scoring below, use the scoring below to aid in assessing the student. 0, not evident, 1, somewhat evident, 2, evident, 3, strongly evident. Again, we're going to scroll down here, and this is where you'll actually be able to make your selections of whatever score that you deem appropriate. You can click your score, and if you change your mind, you just click again to choose, maybe what you actually meant. Pedrozi Scholar characteristic number 1. So this PSC 1 refers to the same here as same question as this PSC 1. This area is the score, and then this area is where you could put words or phrases that you might find helpful. You'll notice here that it says if you scored a 3, please note examples, statements, phrases, words from the applicant's writing that influenced your score. For any score, feel free to reference helpful notes, reasons to support your score. These notes are helpful to the scholarship committee when doing selection. So again, if you score 3, we encourage you to explain to us why. It can be a simple, few words, but feel free to use it for any score. Over here on the right is the application. So you'll scroll through here. This is what the applicant sees when they fill out an application. We also wanted them to have an opportunity to see these Pedrozi Scholar characteristics and know what we're looking for in applicants. The Getting to Know You section is 3 different questions, and we explain to the applicant, again, what we're looking for. Purpose of this section is to get to know you by sharing your personality traits, accomplishments, values, and aspirations with the application reviewers. Sharing specific examples helps the application reviewers understand you. You're encouraged to write about different topics and areas of interest for each question. Share as many aspects about yourself. Expected length of response to questions 1, 2, and 3 is between 1,500 and 2,000 characters, including spaces. Your response should include proper spelling, punctuation, capitalization, and grammar. Answer all questions fully. Again, important individuals to whom you refer in your answers and who may enable us to identify you must not be identified by name. Our review process requires anonymity. Using proper names may result in disqualification of your response. We try and screen these ahead of time so that if students have accidentally included names that we can scratch them out. But if that's not the case, feel free to bring it to my attention so that I can do so. So here is the applicant's response to question number 1. I want to point out that you can drag this screen so that you can read the full response, make it a little more comfortable and easy to read. can read the response. Again, a reminder that was over here on our rubric that on the first pass through of any new application that you're evaluating, please read the whole thing. It'll be much easier to identify these characteristics that we're trying to find if you've read all of the answers. So again, that was question 1. Here's question 2. We can do the same thing and ensure that you can read the full response. Question 3, we'll do the same. Then we get down here to activities, interests, and responsibilities. So the students will show us again what the activity is, give us some information about it, share how many hours per week, how many weeks per year, and how many years they've participated. And they do this for 3 activities. Activity 2, activity 3, and then we have the last impression section. The final question, the getting to know you. What do you want application reviewers to know about you that's not already reflected in the scholarship application? So we left this one a bit more open-ended so the students can share with us whatever they think might be helpful for us to know and understand about them. Again, we can drag this here. So reading through the whole thing, again, if you want to make notes as you're doing that of something that you think where they were showing us they maximize learning opportunities, where they participate in meaningful involvements outside the classroom, feel free to find a system that works for you. That might be grabbing a piece of paper and a pencil. It might be, opening a document on your computer. It might be making a few notes over here on the left in the evaluation form. You'll find a system that works for you, but reading through that first time, it can be very helpful. So again, we're going to do this for each characteristic. You give a score and then perhaps giving some more support, for that score right below it. Same thing, Pedrozzi Scholar characteristics 7, 8, and then underneath all of those, you'll see overall impression in one word or phrase. What is your overall impression of the applicant? Holistic score and award recommendation. 0 would be no, the applicant has not demonstrated they should be considered for a scholarship at this time. 1, maybe, applicant may be considered for a scholarship if funding allows. 2, yes, applicant should be considered. 3, strong, yes, applicant should be awarded a scholarship. So you'll make a selection here. Explanation and comments. Considering the student's past achievements, future potential, and impact of the scholarship, please explain why you feel this applicant should or should not be awarded a scholarship in 2 or more sentences. Relative rank is optional, but after reading through some applications, you may get a feel for if a student is above average, average, or below average, and that can be helpful. So there's an area there. And then special consideration. This is an area that you might use to give some additional information to the scholarship committee when doing selection. So anything that stands out to you that you think you want to share, you could do so here. And then, as I mentioned before, the recusal, this is, again, optional, but if you find that you know a student or you find that you may be biased, any reason you think you might need to recuse yourself, you do so here. And then once you're done, you'll click Save. So I can scroll back to the top and give you an opportunity to read through some of these and then pause so you can finish reading the full answer. Here again is question 1. So go ahead and take a moment and pause and read. Question 2, do the same. Please pause and read. And then again here, question 3, the same. This area, I'll give you a second to pause and read, but wanted to point out that in this question, Mario Pedrozzi left his estate to establish the Pedrozzi Foundation with the vision of helping students of all ages achieve their educational and career goals. Read about Mario Pedrozzi's life and his values and objectives and the values of objectives of the Pedrozzi Foundation. So these are links for the students to go and do a little reading. Reflecting on what you've read and your own background, experiences, and values, what aspects of Mario's life and or the Foundation's goals resonate with you? So this, again, is the student's response to that prompt. You can pause and read. Activities, interests, and responsibilities. Here's number 1. Number 2. Sorry, there's the full response. Number 3. And then the last impression. So again, after reading through all of that and using whatever system you might find helpful to make some notes over here on this evaluation form, you'll develop scores for each prompt. So again, PSC1, the Pedrosi Scholar Characteristic 1 is maximizes learning opportunities. So you'll maybe read back through and find areas where the students has demonstrated maximizing learning opportunities. And then again, having your rubric up will be really helpful. So maximizing learning opportunities. You'll use this rubric to help determine what score to give. If you don't see any evidence of the student seeking or creating learning opportunities, maybe occasionally we would give a 1. If you find they regularly seek out and create meaningful learning opportunities, actively engages with a variety of resources and activities to enhance learning, or the student consistently maximizes learning opportunities, proactively seeks diverse resources and activities, engages in thoughtful reflection, consistently applying insights to enhance future learning, and may encourage others to do the same. So again, we've developed these rubrics to try and be helpful in determining scores. If you come up with any tips for us, again, we always will take feedback because these are new rubrics and they can always be improved upon. So let us know. Again, then we can go to number 2 and 3. Number 2 being participates in personally meaningful activities outside of the classroom with their score list of scores, demonstrates leadership, finding scores that help aid in answering those. So you get the hang of it. But again, having this evaluation and application here, and then your rubric next to it as you work through it, I think you'll find to be really helpful. If you have any questions as you're moving through any of these sample applications, once they get assigned to you, I am always available. Please just let me know. I would be happy to help. We want to make sure that you guys have everything you need as you work through this process. There will be another meeting coming up in January where we will meet with all of our new reviewers as well as our returning reviewers to discuss this new scoring method, as well as just kind of doing a refresh on what we're looking for and important things to know as you move through this review process. So more to come, but that should be mid-January. We'll probably do an in-person meeting in the evening and then potentially a virtual training for anyone who can't make that in-person meeting again in an evening in probably mid-January. So let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much and looking forward to talking to you soon.